Greetings, everybody. I was just looking at this Bugs Bunny comic from Gold Key. Looking at the Statement of Ownership and Circulation from 1964. Take a look at this. I hope that you can see that there. There is a total press run. 469,000 comics. Down here we have 7,000 copies that were through the mail, subscriptions. And below that is the figure for sales through news vendors, 308,000. So that brings the total number of sold copies to just over 316,000. They had a very heavy overprint at almost 470,000. But the point is, they sold a total of 316,000 comic books, and this is 1964. But it's freaking Bugs Bunny. Today you can't even get 70,000 copies of Spider-Man. Well, I don't know what the latest circulation figures are, but last time I checked he was like 65,000 copies. And something else that's interesting is the ad in the back of this comic for the Roman toy soldiers. Take a look at this. This is what you get. You get this great package. This great package of war soldiers includes 4 working catapults and 16 pieces of ammunition. And there in parentheses they have harmless. What do they think, that they're going to send you live ammunition? 16 pieces of ammunition that are harmless. Okay. Unless, of course, your little kids, your 8 and 9-year-olds decide to swallow it, and that... Oh, brother. Anyway, I wanted to show you this copy of House of Mystery that I got from Chris. I failed to recognize that this is issue 175, and this contains the first appearance of Kane, so this is actually a key issue. And I just found out that the cover looked familiar too. It's a Neil Adams cover. I had to double check that. So this is very cool from Chris, Doc and Howlett. That was my little Christmas gift he sent me. Thank you very much, Chris. It's really cool. Just I didn't mention that last video, so I had to show you that again. Anyway, to get right down into the let me put on some different music here and get back into the horror comics. And the first issue I have is Eerie Comics, and just let me double check. This is number 16 from 1964. Next copy I have is number 15 from 1950. What is this? Number 16. I'm sorry, from 1954. It's a bondage cover. This is actually a reprint of number 1 from 1951, where it has a story in it that's reprinted. Next issue is Eerie Comics number 14. Next issue I have is Eerie Comics number 13 from 1953. Next issue is, this has a little damage right up there. You can see a little piece missing from the upper left corner, right corner. Next issue is number 11 from 1953, and this has a cover by Hollingsworth. It also has Norman Nodell in here, who wrote and drew a story in here called, well, no, you know what, Dr. Nodell, Dr. Nodell, Norman Nodell, he wrote and drew the Dr. No movie comic from 1964, or 1963 when Dr. No came out, James Bond movie. The guy who did the art in here drew those comics, those movie comics. Nice cover. From 1952, I have number 10. This issue here, got so much glare in there. I'm sorry about that glare. Let's see, there's no... It has some Kinsler art in here. He started drawing comics at the age of 16. In Hollingsworth art. Next issue is covered by Harry Lazarus, who did a lot of work for Atlas Comics later on, mainly in the 50s. This is number 8 from 1952, and it's a bondage cover. Double bondage cover, 2 women in bondage, 2 for the price of 1. Just joking. Next I have one from number 1952. It's number 7, and this has a cover by Wally Wood and interiors by Joe Orlando. Nice Wally Wood cover there. Kind of unmistakable Wally Wood art. There's also some art in here by Norman Nodell, or I don't know how to pronounce his name. Maybe it's Nodell or Noodle. I'll pronounce it Norman Noodle. And Joe Kubert. Next I have is number 6 from 1952. That's just an awesome cover right there. I'm not sure who did this cover. I tried to research that to find out who did that cover, but couldn't get any info on it. Next I have number 4 from 1952 with a Wally Wood cover. Let me get rid of some of these books up here. It's starting to collapse on me. Next is another Wally Wood cover and art inside this one. It's Eerie number 2 from 1951. This is just awesome. Another bondage cover. Wally Wood. He was just a great artist too. Next, I have number 1 from 1951. This is Eerie #1 from 1951, but this is a reprint of Eerie #1 from 1947, and this is the first horror comic. I don't care what anybody else tells you. This came out in 1947. It was written, drawn, and published with the sole intent of being a comic book, and it was 1947. This makes it the first horror comic book. Overstreet used to call this the first horror comic book, and then started calling it, with the Overstreet Price Guide number 30 or 31, the first supernatural comic book. But to me, supernatural, horror, it's all the same. This is the first horror comic, 1947, by Avon. It's in very good condition. It looks better because it's in the Mylar, but it's not better than VG. But it's scarce, a very hard issue to find. Next, I have Fantastic Tales #1. I'm not even sure what. I think this is a reprint of an earlier comic, and I don't know what the year is, but it's from the 50s. Next I have Fate #19 from 1953. Next I have a copy of Frankenstein. This is number 27. (1953). Next I have just an awesome cover. I probably showed this before. This is Ghost Comics number 7 from 1953. This issue was in fair to good condition, but this has just an awesome cover on there. But I have another copy of that, second copy, that's in better condition. Not too much better, but I would say good plus. Obvious bondage cover and a hanging cover. Let me get some of these removed. Next I have Haunted Thrills number 7 from 1953. Next I have number 6, Haunted Thrills number 6. Next issue is Haunted Thrills number 2. And the next one, and I've shown this before, is Haunted Thrills number 1 from 1952. This is number 1 from 1952. And I'm gonna stop it there because I'm running out of time. And I think I got, last time I showed this poster, but I wasn't able to get a close-up of it, so I'm gonna try that now. Maybe I can do it without getting off my butt. Whoa. And that's as close as I can get it. Return of the Fly. Is it 1958? Whoa, sorry about that. And that's about it. Sorry about moving around like that, but it's the only way I can do it. So I want to thank everybody for watching, and also I'm going to leave the a link for Dr. Gangarine's channel down here again, because the last link, when I left it in the last video, I had the spelling wrong. It's lowercase d, not capital D, so I'm going to leave it again. And I want to thank everybody for watching, and hope you tune in next time. And I should have another video up pretty soon. Thanks again.